This is a game the two can play, and India can play this game much better than Pakistan. Now, the areas that were chosen were very carefully chosen. I want to quickly bring in General Bikram Singh, former Chief of the Army Staff, who joins me on the broadcast. General, your take on the surgical strikes.
Gaurav, this is in conformity with what the DGMO brought out the other day. He was quite emphatic about it, a time and place of our choosing, and ostensibly this is the manifestation of his declaration that he made during the last public appearance during the media interaction.
General, where do you see this headed? Could this lead to escalation, and is it a situation that could go out of hand?
But you see, he's also, remember, DGMO when he spoke, if you read between the lines, you see that he's cleared, he's actually, again, very explicitly made it clear that our intent we have achieved. Our intent is not to continue with this operation. We are calling it off. But that notwithstanding, we are prepared for all possible contingencies. In other words, he's given a message that, look, this is in response to what you did at Uri, and that is it. But should you wish to escalate, that's your choice. We are prepared for it.
General, surgical strikes have been carried out in the past. You've headed this army. In the past, they've beheaded our soldiers. They have got it back with interest. The government going public with a surgical strike, what does that indicate?
Gaurav, that's an excellent development if you ask me frankly. That is a positive development, and I think this should have happened long time back. At least we would have by now put Pakistan in its place. And I'm not trying to appear as a warmonger that we should have used only force for this purpose. What has come out loud and clear is the political intent. Political intent that, look, we are not going to take any more nonsense from Pakistan with regard to its bleeding us by 1,000 cuts. And this is the last resort that now we are going in for a more assertive and more aggressive policy. And I think we have the justification for it. The Honorable Prime Minister tried out every possible option of trying to, patch up with his counterpart across, with Nawaz Sharif. He tried to meet him in all kinds of formal and informal meetings, only to appeal to his good sense. But
yes,
since that didn't work, apparently it didn't work because it's a controlled democracy by the Pakistani military, nothing would have worked. We had to, as a last resort, adopt this policy. And I think it's a very positive development, which is going to, with the political law intent having been given out, to coerce Pakistan to start behaving and to stop nurturing and exporting terrorists and stop using terrorism as a instrument of state policy. You will find the whole of government approach being evolved. It is already being involved. Some of the facets, some of the contours of this strategy, this policy are already there in the media. The government has already shown its intent. You've seen the diplomatic isolation that has started. You've seen the economic pressure points, whether it's through the water as a weapon, or it's revisiting our economic engagement with Pakistan, like the most preferred nation, whether it's a covert, overt operations, psychological operations, informational operations. All this a multi-pronged strategy is being evolved, which will be unfolded. And I would like to, through this medium, tell your viewers that they should not be expecting overnight results. Overnight results are going to be in the form of what the military has demonstrated. Such demonstrative responses would continue, but otherwise overall prongs of the strategy would manifest over years. And we should be prepared for a long-drawn affair, for an enduring commitment to this strategy, and to make sure that over the years we are able to achieve this political end state.
General, in the short term, you've headed the Indian Army and through some of its toughest operations, but General, explain this to our viewers. In the short term, will there be escalation along the line of control? In the short term, could there be retaliatory strikes by Pakistan, beheading of our soldiers, or killing our civilians, or shelling our places along the LC?
Gaurav, country's posture, the posturing is something which is undertaken by the countries. We are posturing, so is Pakistan. Pakistan, when it indulges in this kind of saber-rattling and escalatory kind of action, apparently is addressing its domestic audience. We are a more responsible nation. We have made it very clear we don't intend upping the ante. It's left to you, it's up to you. And let's wait and watch. There would be precautionary measures taken. We would resort to certain measures which will not take us, the military will not be found wanting. Let me assure you this.
And sir, in fact, Ashton Carter endorsed exactly the same. He has questioned Pakistan's responsibility towards handling of its nuclear weapons. They've been themselves so wary about, Pakistan's dodgy control over nuclear weapons. Sir, you called it an excellent operation. What does this mean for the Jawans, the soldiers? Wouldn't this also boost their morale? We've just lost so many lives ever since, 26/11 took place. Gurdaspur, Pathankot and then Uri.
It is a shot in the arm. It is absolute, it's very good for the morale. It was much awaited response by the government, and I think what we've done is really good. But more importantly is that let the other prongs of the strategy, that is diplomatic, economic, the psychological, the covert operations manifest. That will have a salutary effect in the years to come, as I said earlier.
Okay, General, in the past it has always been said that while the Indian army is very strong, the morale of our troops is always very high. It's the weapons, the ammunition that is lacking. But today, when we look at the situation on ground, we've gone in, we've hit apparently at 6 different locations. Are these locations symbolic, or is the strike deeper than mere symbolism?
Look, it had to be a demonstrative strike. Remember, when the Pakistanis decided on Uri, it was a very cleverly, selected objective. One, of course, they kept certain areas under surveillance, but more importantly was the media mileage that Uri would have given them, because our media congregated there in no time, and they were able to put across to the world what was happening over there. Now, from the point of view of, media mileage, from the point of view of reaching out to various target audience in Pakistan, various players who matter, I think this operation has gone in beautifully. It has delivered the right message to the right audience, both in Pakistan and in the international community, that enough is enough. And look, we are not warmongers. We don't intend using force beyond a point. This is only in retaliation as a retribution to what happened at Uri. But that notwithstanding, we are prepared for any ugly situation. So I think it's a very balanced approach that the government has adopted.
Okay. Escalation along the line of control, escalation along the international border, or more terror strikes? In your appreciation, what will Pakistan do? What will the Red Army or the Red Line do, as you say in your war games, General?
Gaurav, don't expect me to go cross the red lines as a former chief. The basic fundamental principle is we'll take precautionary measures. There's no doubt in my mind that there will be attempts at greater infiltration. That is a writing on the wall, a very logical inference. They will definitely do it. We got to remain prepared for it. We got to remain prepared from the point of view of, I would say, revitalizing our intelligence grid in our homeland, and also making sure along the borders we are on guard for any situation that may erupt.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for your time and speaking to us on India Today.